Welcome back, everybody. Let's go. First one on the menu. Little plastic princess. Gotta give it a little oil. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode, another adventure. And this one's going to be a bit shorter than usual because nothing really crazy has happened this weekend, honestly, which is a good thing. Business as usual. Airplanes going in, airplanes going out. We'll try to keep you guys entertained and give you some information on certain systems. But overall, let's start out our day with our beautiful plastic princess, the 787, and she just needed a bit of oil. Oh, by the way, on a side note, you guys have been asking me this question a lot in my previous video. There is another creator that I think he goes by the name of Pepes Towing, and he recorded one of our aircraft that got damaged via a catering truck. I will address that situation. I'll talk about that. And just to give you a little bit of context, that happened pretty much 3 weeks ago. This is old news, but I'll talk about it later through the video. Anyway, let's enjoy the 787. This one just came in from Japan, Haneda, and every single time, it's like almost guaranteed. It always takes 6 pints at least, all the time. And this is a GENX engine, so fill to spill. 6 pints, or 3 point something quarts. Almost there, yeah, close enough. But yeah, fill to spill on these. Okay, we're gonna start off this video by doing math. That's right, let's go. Basic algebra. Let's calculate the distance from Tokyo Haneda, HND, to LAX, Los Angeles International. Approximate distance is about 5,475.7 miles. Kilometer-wise, that's about 8,812.41 kilometers. Flight time is around 9 hours and 55 minutes, so let's just call it 10 hours. Now, let's calculate oil burned for this particular engine. You can calculate this in 2 different ways. You can calculate it via the distance traveled or the time traveled. Let's do time first. So you got 6 pints being serviced per engine, and your time of travel is about 9.9 hours. 6 divided by 9.9, you get a rough estimate of about 0.6 pints per hour. Also, take into consideration that we're going to be using the average speed of a 787, which is around Mach 0.85, but obviously it's not flying at that speed consistently. This is why I'm not going to include that into our calculation. These are going to be simply rough estimates. Now, let's do it for time. Same type of calculation. We're going to take 6 pints and divide it by the distance traveled, and we're going to end up with 0.001 pints per hour. I can guarantee you about 90% of people that are watching this saying, nope, we're not doing math today. Click away. I want to go see something entertaining. I'm just joking around, guys. The whole point behind this, the concept behind this, I want you to understand how efficient these engines are. It's barely burning any oil. And I know somebody's going to ask, let's do fuel efficiency next. We'll save that for another video. Also, on a side note, I said in the video, fill to spill. The reason I said that because the GENX engine, as well as the GE90, they don't have sight gauges. So you literally fill to spill. But we don't spill, we just stop before it spills. Here she is, beautiful plastic princess. Gave her some oils, good to go. Let's see, 22, perfect. Otherwise, this thing's gonna go to the hangar and stay here and we'll leave later on today. But yeah, not much for me to do here. Cool. Take a screenshot. Somebody did ask, they want to see the emergency exit hatch. Well, it's right here. I've shown it before. But yeah, pilots would literally just pull this thing down, turn the handle, and out they go. I'm not going to pop it open. Yeah, they'll use this step as well. Step on here, step on here. Definitely the step they don't want to use ever. But yeah. And get out of Dodge. And they'll use the emergency descent devices. Pull it out the window. That's it. Next office, let's go. Back to a 777. This one actually is gonna go out international. Send it out to Heathrow. Heathrow time. This has been a question that has been brought up many times. I've made many videos about this as well, but just let's rehash this real quick. Body gear steering or steering assist on the main landing gear. The actuator in question is right there in front of you. The 777-200 and the 300 both have this system. So the whole purpose behind main gear steering or main gear steering assist is to help the airplane during tight turns. It reduces what we call tire scrub. How it's activated is through actually the nose landing gear, the steering mechanism. When the tiller is being used to turn the aircraft and goes more than 13 degrees, it will unlock the main landing gear steering actuator. The steering control will send signals to the main landing gear actuator in proportion to the nose landing gear position. A maximum deflection of 8 degrees of the aft axle command will occur when the nose landing gear command angle is about 70 degrees. And by the way, it's turning in the opposite direction. So if you turn the nose wheel to the left, the main gear aft axle is going to turn to the right. I'm also going to clarify something for you right here. The 200s have a different degree than the 300s. What I was talking about here is for the 777-200. For the 777-300, the angles are a bit different. Maximum aft angle is about 6.5 degrees when the nose gear is beyond 70 degrees. Okay, here we go. Let's get to work. Get our statistics page. What did I drop? My screwdriver. Get our statistics page going, and then we start. That looks okay. Everything normal there. But we do have a bunch of inbound, well, not a bunch of, like 3 or 4 inbound write-ups. No big deal. We'll go through the parameters first, and then we'll hit the inbounds. Flight attendant reports that the armrest is not going down. This is after the fact that I already fixed it. All it took is a little bit of cleanup. Somebody had spilled a little bit of soda onto the armrest, onto that little push button, and it was being sticky. So just cleaned it up and functional check is good. Now, why is this important? During takeoff and landing, those armrests need to be down. This is for egress purposes. As you know, safety and precaution, especially during emergency evacuation, is incredibly important for aviation. If there's something obstructing you from escaping the aircraft, then we have a problem. If I were to have to defer this little armrest, I would have to deactivate it in the down position like that. Anyway, that was an easy fix. Now let's go on to the fun one, Chapter 38. Okay, up next. Another galley drain clogged. Well, we all know what this is, right? Yeah, you do. You know exactly what this is. Coffee grounds. My favorite. And pull that out, get to that strainer, and just clean it out. That's all it really takes. Not a big deal. And we'll just double check on this one too. Make sure, oh, this one's good to go. Yeah, this one's all right. Nothing wrong with this one. It is definitely this one. 100% coffee grounds. Let's see where it is. There it is. Our little strainer. Give us a little bit more breathing room. Get some napkins. Get some paper towels, undo that, clean it. Should be easy. All right, let's go. Find some rags. Okay, let's make a mess. There it is. Oh, my favorite combination: orange juice pulp, and coffee grounds. Oh yeah, lovely. Just let it drain out. Then we'll loosen it up. This whole unit comes out, and there's just a screen mesh filter inside there. Clean that out, easy peasy. We'll just do it nice and slow. I really don't want to make a mess. God, this smells horrible. There you go. Okay. I'm gonna clean this out and then put it back in. Okay, that is as clean as I can possibly get it right now. But it'll do. Well, not it'll do. It'll flow. The water will flow. So you'll see. I'm just gonna reinstall this real quick, and then we'll dump some water, and you'll see. Leak check it. It'll be just fine. Just hand tight. Doesn't need to be too crazy tight. All right. Oh, boy. Dump some water in there. Matter of fact, I even brewed another hot pot of water. Let's dump that too, just to double check. Perfect. No leaks, no problem. Yep. All right, that's it. We're done here. Put the Galley carts back. And then the other one was a just a latch that was sticking. I already adjusted that. Well, they're going to reposition that thing from International to Gate 41, so we're going to wait. Then we'll finish up the E-tops. That is a nice little update for you for the new gates. Gate 49 Bravo and 49 Alpha are pretty much almost done. They even got the predetermined markings on the floor for them to paint, so I'm assuming this is probably going to get opened up within a week or so. But yeah, nice open spaces and gates. Gonna be able to park a wide body and narrow bodies in here, so that should be nice. Turned out to be a beautiful day after all. It was nice and cloudy earlier. All right, she is repositioned. Now let's go finishing this thing off. Well, that one's done. Off to Heathrow. Early too. Pushing back like 30 minutes early. I love that. I love on-time departures, but I love early departures even more. There was nothing much else for me to capture on the interior because it was basically paperwork and just dropping off the logbook. On to the next day. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And today we start our day off with a medical emergency. Not mine, but somebody that was flying in from Hawaii. They used a bunch of emergency equipment. So we got to go address the situation, change some equipment. Pick that up. We don't like any FOD. Let's go. It's going to be a pretty day. Okay, before we get to all the emergency equipment, they're still unloading. Woo, look at that. It's hot brakes, so just turn the brake fans on. In other words, pull those down. So I've talked about emergency equipment in previous videos, but once again, I'm going to reiterate, emergency equipment is also part of aircraft maintenance responsibilities. On this particular flight, a person got extremely sick. They utilized 4 portable oxygen bottles, the first aid kit, and the INK kit. It's our responsibility as technicians, making sure that not only these things are up to date and not expired, but when they are used, we have to replace them. We're also double checking and inspecting these on not only first flights of the day, as well as during our overnight checks. The responsibility for aircraft maintenance technician is not only to the airworthiness of the aircraft, but it's also to the safety of the passenger. That means emergency equipment is also our #1 priority. Everything has to be up to date. Everything has to be within parameters. A simple thing like an expired defibrillator or an emergency medical kit or even a life vest is a grounding item for an aircraft. This is why we check these things. Did not get a chance to capture the reinstallation of all these things because at that point passengers were loading. This is the aftermath and the paperwork portion of it. Aircraft went out safe and on time. That's all that matters. And we're back in a 777 and of course, it's gonna give you problems. And we're back inside of a 777 once again and back to our handy MAT, Maintenance Access Terminal. And this time the problem was the NGS system, the nitrogen generating system. The lovely repetition of my videos that I keep talking about the same things over and over again, but it's okay. I'm going to rehash once again. The NGS system meant for the fuel tanks, ATA chapter 47. In essence, what it's doing is it's pumping nitrogen into the fuel tanks. It's replacing the oxygen that's within it. As fuel depletes out of a fuel tank, you have oxygen. You don't want oxygen inside of a tank. That becomes a hazardous environment. In case there was a spark, it could create an explosion. So modern day systems, and which, by the way, every single aircraft right now, modern aircraft have an NGS system. It will pump through and it will push the oxygen out and fill the cavity with nitrogen. Nitrogen being an inert gas and less likely of having an explosion in case there was a spark. So the actual fault that was being generated by the system is the inlet door actuator, which you will see here in a second. I simply needed to perform an electrical test and a functional test on the particular system, making sure that the valve or the inlet door cycles up and down, open and closed, making sure that it is doing what it's supposed to do. Now, the history behind the NGS or the nitrogen generating system goes a lot farther back than you think, but it's very most notable with TWA Flight 800. After that incident or that crash occurred, pretty much every single manufacturer implemented this into their aircraft. Airbus and Boeing both have this. Even the 737 has the system. I go back to saying how smart and intelligent these aircraft are designed, where it's just going to give you a specific code where you can take that code and take it to your fault isolation manuals, and then you can get the data that you need. It's simply going to give you instructions on how to perform the tests. Trust me guys, it's not rocket science. It's super easy. Once said and done, there you go. Fault is cleared. Beautiful. That's what I want to see. Okay. And just as promised, here it is guys. That's the little valve that I'm talking about, or the inlet door that was malfunctioning right there. That is for the NGS system. There is a ram air door actuator behind that little door, and what it does is opens up and it gives the NGS the proper cooling airflow that it needs. After I performed a test, the whole unit went back into proper sequence, and that's an exhaust portion of the NGS system as well. Lots of wide body action this weekend, and this one is another 777. This time it's a 300, and this one is going to go out to Sydney, Australia. So once again, another ETOPS check. Let's go. There we go. Check the parameters, make sure everything's okay. Go through it. Easy peasy. And then we got a small couple of inbound write-ups. Nothing too big. Oh, these track pads always are so finicky. Come on. Good. Normal. And then the rest you guys know. Hydraulics, tire pressures. Good. You can even go through here. Very good. We had a few little items that we had to work. One was this little coffee maker, which we changed out. Another was a chiller light that wasn't coming on. A reset fixed that one. And curtains for the flight attendants' resting quarters. A couple of the clips had broken off. I didn't get to capture that one. But yeah, this is all I got to capture on this. Just a quick change of a coffee maker. Overall, the important things on the aircraft were functioning just fine. Everything was good. This aircraft left after my shift ended, so night shift did take over on this one. But we try to help out each other as much as possible. We'll try to get the interior items configured, or fixed up. Any kind of discrepancies, and most of the outside and the inside. There are final portions for the ETOPS check, which night shift does have to take over. But overall, airplane went out and we were happy, and I got to go home and get some rest. On our way back, I caught this beauty right here. Well, I call it a black beauty. Air New Zealand. Usually you'll see the full black livery on the 777, but I think this was my first time that I actually got to see their 787 full black livery. Absolutely gorgeous. That is the end of this day, ladies and gentlemen, but the next day, nothing really happened, which was of significance. So the only thing I got to capture was a brake riding little session. So as always, I will keep the ATC chatter on. Enjoy yourself. Oh, don't worry, I didn't forget. We are going to talk about the incident. Okay, so I stumbled upon this page by accident because people who were tagging me with it. And to my surprise, wow, what a wonderful page. I really enjoyed it. And Mr. Pepe's towing service apparently does heavy recovery. So the incident in question, towing service was called out to recover a catering truck. So what had happened is the 737 was parked at a particular location and was going to be repositioned back to the gate for a live flight. Now, sadly to say, this is human error and human factors. The individuals that were moving that aircraft did not see the catering truck parked back there. Proceeded to move the aircraft forward, damaging the right horizontal stabilizer, as well as tipping over the catering truck. Aviation and personnel within aviation are all about safety and following protocol. But at the end of the day, we're still human beings, and human beings do make mistakes. Really important portion here is to learn from our mistakes. Obviously, the aircraft is now grounded, and now aircraft maintenance takes over because we got to fix it. We got to bring it back to airworthy condition, and trust me, it is sometimes a challenge. In this particular scenario, we had to change the whole right horizontal stabilizer. The images that you're seeing is courtesy of my good friend and colleague Nate, and he got to capture the reinstallation of the whole horizontal stabilizer, as you can see right there. This is very slow and very meticulous work, hence why it's in time lapse. Dealing with this type of damage, especially to a critical component such as a flight control surface, every type of safety precaution is taken into consideration. Yes, the leading edge could have been repaired. Internally, you don't understand or know how much more structural damage it could have happened. To cut out the guesswork, just change the whole component, the whole horizontal stabilizer, elevator, and everything else in between. Skilled and excellent technicians follow the maintenance manuals to the T and perform the task. And once again, this happened like 3 weeks ago, guys. This airplane is already back and flying. It's airworthy. It's in the sky right now as we speak. Now, I know somebody's going to ask about cost. Guys, I want to remind you, I'm a mechanic, not an accountant. But I would assume in the millions. It's not even counting the man hours. As technicians, we take the aircraft safety and the passenger safety at the utmost. That's our #1 priority. This is why I say, we fix, you fly. That's it. Now you know the whole story. And a big shout out to Mr. Pepe and Pepe's Towing. Amazing channel. Definitely go follow it. It's awesome. I am. Okay, that's it with this. Now let's go move some airplanes. Enjoy. All right, back to the wide bodies again. This time we're going for brake riding. Let's go. This one's going to stay overnight. Came from Dallas. It's going to go back out to Dallas tomorrow, but we can go upstairs. Oh, first we can do a quick little walk around and then go for a nice ride. Beautiful. 777. Hey, look at that. I can't remember what theme this is. I think this is the Mardi Gras theme. That's pretty cool. All right, let's get going. We'll keep the theme going. Ain't that cool? Yeah, I am totally digging it. I like how it changes colors. All right, let's get this thing set up. Go for a ride.
2930. 2932. Rough copy, thank you. You're welcome. Ground American 100 call. American 100 call, I see they're pushing taxi left turn Bravo, hold short of Juliet. Or Bravo short of Juliet, American 100 call. Ground United 2240 off of 25 left, 25 right for 870 Alpha. 2240 over ground taxi via Bravo Charlie 5 back to ground, take us push. Bravo and then to Charlie 5, United 2240. LA ground, American 41 Heavy, tailing out at Charlie 10 for Charlie 17. American 41 Heavy, LA ground, push tail to the east. Tail east, American 41 Heavy. Los Angeles ground, United 72 Alpha Heavy, at the top of Charlie 3, out of the gate. 72 Alpha Heavy, proceed via Charlie. Charlie to the ramp, United 72 Alpha Heavy. American 100 Golf at Juliet, pass behind company, and then continue via Charlie 10 of the ramp. All right, after company, clear Charlie 10 to the ramp. American 100 Golf. American 72, sir, correction, United 72, I'll be pass behind company at Charlie 5. Say again, say United 72 Alpha Heavy. 72 Alpha Heavy behind company at Charlie 5. United Company, Charlie 5, United 72 up, baby. American 41 Heavy, are you able to move forward? Not yet. Stand by. Dragon 80, Southwest 1158, clear from my 25 right, up 1 back, come back. Southwest 158, all ground taxi via Bravo, November North. Bravo, November North, Southwest 158. LA ground, 41 Heavy, ready to proceed, Charlie 17. American 41 Heavy, proceed via Charlie, Kilo, Bravo to ground. Charlie, Bravo, Kilo to ramp, American 41 Heavy. American 2364, LA ground taxi via Bravo, Charlie 9. American 2364, taxi via Bravo, Charlie 9. Bravo, Charlie 9, 2364. American 41 Heavy mixture, transponders on, and that's Kilo and Bravo to the ramp. Kilo, Bravo to ramp, and we're switching on our transponder. Is that about it?
Yeah, transponder's on, dude. I'm listening to him.
Copy that. Just go ahead and turn it off and then turn it back on. So this is just...
Just did that right now.
Yeah, copy that. Thank you.
Okay, got everything off, basically. Now I'll just turn off the APU. Wait for it to shut down. Meantime, we can enjoy the view. Let's see now. By the way, the window's not closed. How cool is that? Let's see. Close that back up. Like an 86 Chevy. And APU almost shut down. We're just gonna wait for the intake door to close. That's it. Good night. Did this one. I think we got another one to move. Let's see. Pretty cool. There's my air stairs. Well, that's about it, folks. I'm sorry I did not get to capture the other moves, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, a big thank you for spending time here and watching and enjoying, and especially asking the wonderful questions that you guys always do. I will leave you all with a couple of beautiful landings that I managed to capture. Enjoy yourselves, take care, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Stig, signing out. Later!